All right, welcome to Tuesday's Tools on Purpose at the Business on Purpose podcast. Tuesdays are all about equipping you all with the tools that you need to run your business with intention and purpose. Our mission here at Business on Purpose is to liberate business owners from chaos so you can make time for what matters most. My name's Patrice Miles. I'm one of the coaches on the team, and every Tuesday I love to dive into the world of tools because in a world where your time is your most precious asset, finding those right tools can really help streamline your operations. So, in each episode, I love to bring you interviews with experts. We share success stories and we provide step by step guides to empower you. But remember, as I always say, it's not about just having the right tools, you actually have to use them. So, today's topic is busy. I'm super excited to introduce you to Owen Strods with Strods Contracting. Owen, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Patrice. How are you?
I'm good. Tell us just a little bit about yourself.
As you mentioned, my name's Owen, and I'm the owner of Strods Contracting. We're based over here in Kalispell, Montana, the far northwest corner of Montana. And we kind of are a jack of all trades, but we primarily focus on excavation, heavy civil work, as well as general contracting. And at general contracting, we've done projects from residential single family new builds to public state funded projects, some unique works for marine construction, all the way to some stuff for Montana Department of Transportation. I started the business 2 years ago, going into our second year after working in the heavy civil field for about 15 years, traveling all over the western half of the country, bidding on and working on projects ranging from $450 million dams all the way to pipelines up in the Canadian Rockies and special remediation projects. Got a lot of background in mine reclamation and all sorts of stuff. So after a little more than a decade of traveling around, it was time to set up shop and go out on my own. So started Strods Contracting about, like I said, about 2 years ago, and just been hard charging, going after it ever since.
All right, Owen, so tell me, what is busy?
Busy is basically it's a digital time card app for time tracking for your crew. It's a really simple, awesome tool to use for digital time cards. It's an app that you use on your phone, and we decided to go with it this year when we added some crew members to our team. That in the past I've used paper time cards and it just becomes a mess. You're constantly tracking them down or trying to read illegible handwriting. It's a pain to make changes, and we decided to look into this app that had been recommended by another contractor friend of mine, and we decided to look into it. And I gotta say, it's a super friendly, very easy to use tool for tracking your crew's time. I think when I signed up for it, within 30 minutes I had it for the most part figured out. And I'm not tooting my own horn, I'm by no means a technological guru. There's all these apps out there that are supposed to make your life better, and I swear sometimes you just want to pull your hair out after diving into it for 30 minutes.
Yes.
But the busy app, it's pretty straightforward. When you have any sort of background in construction, you understand that you have the basic needs, and that's to track your time, to track your projects, and basically track your time allocated to each project, tracking your cost codes for each project so you can really dial in where your costs are. And they make it pretty user friendly. There's definitely different tiers to it. We're just kind of at the intermediate tier based off the size and the type of work that we do, but you can add more features to it where it can offer certain reporting based off of man hours worked per job, per cost code, and vice versa. And what makes it really helpful is, we live in this day and age now where most everybody has smartphones. And So for me, it was really simple. Signed up for the program, downloaded it onto my phone, set myself up as an administrator, and then basically for the new hires, all I have to do is have them download the app. And as they download it, I'll preset them up their account. So they just download it, doesn't cost anything to them. It's like, and don't quote me on this, it's like $10 per user per month. And basically, in the mornings when they get to the job or wherever we send them to, they get on their busy app on their phone and they will basically clock in. They can select the job, they can select what cost code or phase code they're working under, and then they can allocate their times to it. And another benefit to it is it also will track your equipment hours.
Oh,
So
wow.
you can update your equipment hours, and you can basically allocate your equipment hours for various pieces of equipment into certain cost codes into certain projects. And basically, it's just up to the employees during the day to update their app on their phone by just simply opening it up. And if they change from digging in a water main to digging in a sewer main, just swap over to the different cost code and it starts automatically tracking them from there. And it's super handy, it's super helpful, it's relatively easy going, especially for some people that aren't, like I said, technically savvy. It's really not too cumbersome and challenging to set up or to operate.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
fantastic. And I know also, Owen, we had talked at one point about you wanting to have some type of debrief form every day after a project just to know, does the equipment need fuel? Was there any safety issues? And I believe you said Busy does that for you too.
yeah, it does. Yeah. So they have some generic questions that they have that they'll ask that you can set up. You can basically set up any project, any accounts, any cost code to however your business operates, however you want it. And that is one of the things that they offer is that as your employees are wrapping up for the day and they go to clock out, you can set it up very easily where just basically by the administrator clicking a toggle on or off, if the app is then to ask the employee things like, was your time card correct today? Meaning that was there any issues with the time that was entered? Was there, it is technology, phones, sometimes if you're working out of service, or cell towers down, sometimes they can act a little funky, but they can basically say yes or no. One thing that's very important for me, and I think for any business owner or any business in general, is asking the employee if they were hurt that day, yes or no. If they say yes, then it gives them a box to type in whatever happened, whether it was a cut on the finger, or they pinched their finger or stubbed their toe, or all the way to the bigger stuff, which obviously anything bigger than that you probably will hear a little bit quicker than at the end of the day. But it's a very good record keeping situation. And then it can also ask you can set it up where it'll ask the employee, does the equipment need any maintenance or any repairs? And then you can also add in your own specific questions, whatever you want by the end of the day. And you could ask it what materials were used on site, or certain things like that. And it's just a very helpful, useful tool, especially for office staff or administrative people that aren't on the job sites every day, that gets those questions out of the way right at the end of the day. You're not chasing at the end of the week, and it's really pretty simple to work with.
Yeah, yeah. And then I know you had also mentioned that there was a GPS capability also. Are you actually able to like log into your Busy app and see where the guys are?
Yeah, so that's another awesome tool about it is anybody who's logged in, it'll show you where they're at on a map. So you can see where the guys are at. And then on the projects, you can toggle it on and off, but you can use geofencing. And basically, when the guys arrive to the job site, their app will send them a notification. Hey, it looks like you showed up to the Grand residence, and do you want to clock in? Yes or no? And it'll tell them, because people get busy and minds are racing, or they've got something else on there that they're preoccupied about. So it sends a simple reminder like, hey, okay, it's time for you to clock in. And then when you leave the job site, it'll do the same thing. It'll tell you, okay, hey, it looks like you've left the job site. Would you like to go on a break, or would you like to sign off?
Love it.
And that's another nice thing, is it will also track breaks.
Yeah.
So if guys go out to lunch, or they have to go run a personal errand, it'll basically, when they leave the job site, it'll ask them if they want to go on a break, and then they hit the break button and go about their business. And then when they come back, it'll ask them to sign back in, and it'll track the hours that they were gone. So it's a very accurate, really easy way to track the hours that are allocated just to that job. And the other nice thing about the geofencing too is, if you're a contractor that does a lot of jobs a year, some of the guys in the field obviously aren't aware of all the projects that are going. So when you show up to a job site too, if you have the geofencing on, it won't let you sign on to the wrong project. Which that can always be a nightmare. If you have the wrong project clicked on, then if you have a bunch of guys, if you have 10 crew member on that project, and you got a bunch of them kind of off, and say you got 5 other projects going with another 10 guys in each one of those, you've got a lot of hours you've got to manage. And having a wrong project or wrong cost code is definitely can be time consuming to correct. And that's the other nice thing about when you set up your jobs, is that you can set up just the cost codes that you want to use for that job. So it won't let your employees use the wrong cost codes. So, but the mapping is really nice, because again, like we were saying, you can see where they're at, you can see what they're doing. And then it kind of polices your employees as well, as far as, okay, hey, it's time to sign in. Hey, it's time to sign out. And it's a great little tool on that aspect.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's fantastic. Well, Owen, all of this sounds fantastic, and it sounds like it's made your team highly efficient. And then it's also giving you the information that you need as a business owner to work on your business, not necessarily in it, which is fantastic. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our business owners about this app, or how you're using it, before we go, or did we cover everything?
No, I mean, I think we covered most of it. I think the only other thing that's really nice about it is, when you get to a certain amount of people that are on your team that are going to be using it, is you can basically directly import it, from what I understand, into your accounting softwares. It'll work with a bunch of different accounting softwares. It'll work with QuickBooks. It'll work with Foundation and a handful of others, and basically make the payroll portion really easy. Right now I just manually enter it in, just because it's pretty simple for me to do. So we don't have 30-40 guys, but when you start getting into those bigger crews, and then it makes sense that you can manually import into those accounting softwares and run your payroll through there. So it's a great app. I think it's been super helpful for us, especially starting out and not going and purchasing those high dollar project management softwares that offer the time cards. I mean, like I said, it's $10 a person a month for the user, and then you have like a $30 a month admin fee. And so it's not too bad. It's relatively simple to set up for the admin, or whoever's going to administer the time cards, as far as selecting the jobs or putting in the cost codes. And then for your guys in the crew in the field, they don't, it's not very hard for them to operate. It's pretty simple. And it really beats chasing paperwork. Really beats trying to track down, hours that were missed during the week. And it keeps it all in one spot. Super simple to get on. And I do know that there's one other feature too, that for large projects, you can also set up a tablet and basically have it where it'll do facial recognition.
Oh,
So
wow.
you can set it up as basically a kiosk, and crew members, when they come in for the day, basically walk by the kiosk, scans their face, use facial recognition, and then signs them in, vice versa, signs them out. And that's another really sweet deal, because sometimes, in the inevitability that you have either a location that doesn't allow cell phones because it's a high secure place, or you have guys that don't have access to their cell phones or smartphones or whatever, that's another option. So it's again, it's very user friendly. I think it's cost efficient, and before having to go up to that next level, I think it's a great tool to use for any small business owner.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, Owen, thanks so much for joining us today. If anybody wanted to reach out to you, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can best find me at Strods Contracting on Instagram and Facebook, as well as our website is strodscontracting.com. And if you want, you can also send me an email at office@strodscontracting.com.
Awesome. And for those of you watching on YouTube, we'll of course have that information in the show notes. But guys, that is a wrap for Tuesday's Tools on Purpose. Enjoy your new tool, Busy Busy. But remember, every small action can lead to big results. So what action are you going to take today in regards to researching this amazing app called Busy Busy? Now, for those of you all that are just tired of living in chaos and you're ready to start actually working on your business instead of in it, I would love to show you how you can finally start seeing some return on investment in the areas of your time, money, and then a business that can actually run without you. If that's something that you've wanted, but you just don't know the path to get there, schedule a discovery call with me so I can learn more about your business. And then together we can determine what that path would look like. So just simply email me, Patrice at mybusinessonpurpose.com. And if you're watching on YouTube, again, Kevin will put up a QR code and also my email address. So feel free to click there. And then last but not least, we always have our healthy business owner assessment. If you're brave enough to take it and find out how healthy your business is. Again, Kevin will put that QR code up there in the web address. Just so you know, guys, 0 is horrible, but a 40 is a perfect score. So go find out how healthy your business really is. All right, guys, see you next Tuesday.